distinguished parliamentarian, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Kuzu Zambola. Kuzu Zambo is a greeting from Bhutan. A heartfelt welcome to all the global change makers, visionaries, and seekers of purposeful impact from across the world to this event. It is an honor and a true privilege for me to address this august gathering. Before I begin, please allow me to ask a simple question. Are we happy today? Are we happy here? And if we are, what does the happiness truly mean for each one of us? Across culture and nation, happiness is interpreted and understood in many ways. For some, it is an achievement. For others, comfort, success, or recognition. Yet, for us, for Bhutan, happiness is something deeper, broader, and beyond materialistic world. It is about how blissful we are, and how blissful we are by doing what we could do. So Bhutan's understanding of happiness. In Bhutan, happiness is not seen as a fleeting emotion or private luxury. It is understood as collective state of well-being where material needs, emotional balance, spiritual values, social harmony, and respect for nature come together. This understanding is formally articulated through the philosophy of gross national happiness blessed by our beloved Fourth His Majesty. Bhutan's national development philosophy places human well-being at the center of governance and public policy. This philosophy shapes how we think about human life, development, and future of humankind. Our progress is not defined by the rise and fall of economic or GDP or indicator alone, but by the depth of our collective well-being. Our guiding philosophy, gross national happiness, reflects this holistic understanding of development, places human dignity, ecological balance, and cultural integrity at its core. Sorry. Am I audible? Thank you very much. Allow me to illustrate this with a simple example. Consider a society that achieves rapid economic growth, industrial expansion, economic rise, and infrastructure improvement. Yet, at the same time, communities weaken, public spaces disappear, and many people feel excluded and insecure. Economic progress is visible, but social well-being does not improve. For Bhutan, we are very careful in balancing that we achieve what our people want for their livelihood and happiness, but at the same time, we also make sure that the other elements of happinesses are not distorted. While we achieve the happinesses through the economic growth, but we don't distort other elements of happinesses. For example, suppose we damaged certain trees, environment, so on and so forth. While in the process of constructing road, in the process of constructing hydropower projects, we had to massacre so many trees. There was no option. But the most interesting part is that we planted million trees in substitute. A million trees, different types of trees, not for the greenery, but fruiting trees, trees that bear fruit that will benefit our people today and for future. So this is a good example that Bhutan is adopting. This is why Bhutan's progress is not measured only by income or growth, but by deeper questioning. How safe do our people feel? How strong are their communities? How connected are they to the nature? How meaningful do they find their lives? Humans strive for happiness as an antidote to suffering in their life, yet the way we pursue happiness determines whether it becomes a source for achievement, what we call it as a happiness, or division that excludes the reality of intended goal. GNH is not a theoretical idea, it is a living example and experience influencing decisions from national policies to community practices, and it has touched the heart of every individual in Bhutan. So importantly, the Parliament places the GNH as a very pivotal point for any decision that we make. At the same time, we also everybody must have heard about that the visionary leadership of His Majesty the King of Bhutan today, embracing bold new initiatives such as the development of Gelepu Mindfulness City. Conceived as a sanctuary for mindful living and sustainable innovation, this city aspires to become a global example of how urban spaces can embody the principle of GNH, harmonizing human aspiration with spiritual well-being, ecological integrity, and cultural richness. We hope the Gelepu Mindfulness City will not only serve as an inspiration for Bhutan, but also for the world, demonstrating how cities everywhere can be reimagined as centers of human flourishing, resilience, and harmony. The challenges of rapid changing world. Human life itself is a precious gift meant to be lived with simplicity, dignity, and balance. Yet, as the world evolved rapidly, we have complicated our lives with endless desire. We have really complicated our lives with endless desire. If we are not careful, we begin to measure happiness by what we own rather than how we live. So, I don't know, Mega, how much time left for me. I would like to summarize now. Innovation must support human intelligence and human values, not replace them. Managing life is a changing world requires balance, wisdom, and restraint. So the international policy research also shows that the rapid digital and economic transformation, if not guided by well-being oriented governance, can weaken social cohesion and negativity affect quality of life. So a community is not merely infrastructure of economic activities. It is where the children must feel safe, elders must feel respected, culture must remain alive, and the nature is protected. Strong communities transform individual struggle into collective strength and reminds us that happiness is achievable, but we can make it sustainable through collective effort only, not singularly. The alternative model for happiness and the future. As we think about alternative model of living for the future of humankind, Bhutan offers not a perfect solution, but an important reminder. It's not a solution, but it can be a reminder. I don't know if everyone agrees to it, or nor I'm trying to tell the world that everyone should agree to it. But for us, the future of humankind must move away from growth-centered living to happiness-centered living. It should be balanced. We must also be focused on the growth-centered, but at the same time, we should not forget that the happiness should be at the core. As a legislator and as a politician, it is very challenging. It is really challenging. As a legislator, we have always believed that the alternative model of happiness is built on strong local community, not isolated individual. Harmony with the nature, not exploitation. Sustainable energy and responsible consumption, not excess. Shared public spaces, not social fragmentation. Meaningful work and time for life, not constant pressure. I think we are almost like inside a pressure cooker. In this model, happiness is not postponed to retirement or success. It is experienced daily through connection, purpose, and care for one another. Development becomes meaningful, not exhausting. Progress becomes inclusive, not compulsive. So, if we can place human well-being at the center of our decision, economic decision, technological, political, the future does not have to be frightening. It can be human, balanced, and inspiring. So this responsibility aligns closely with the global commitment of SDG as well. I think everybody is aware of it. It is undeniable that the true happiness through community growth is achievable. It is truly achievable. But how we do it, that is the differences. So at the end, I would like to just reiterate again. As a lawmaker, we shape the condition in which society live, society grow, and a society dream. The decision we make today will determine whether a future generation inherit this world triggered by anxiety and depression or guided by a wisdom. That will depend upon the decision that we make today. Either we are going to take our world towards depression and anxiety, or a world guided by a real wisdom where everybody will be very happy. Thank you very much.